On January 15, 2025, a glimmer of hope emerged from the shadow of a protracted conflict. Israel and Hamas, after 15 months of bitter fighting, agreed to a ceasefire deal. This agreement, brokered by a coalition of international actors, including Qatar, Egypt and the United States, carries the weight of enormous expectations and uncertainties. The deal's centerpiece is a phased release of hostages held by Hamas since the conflict's outbreak. In return, Israel has committed to a phased withdrawal from Gaza and the release of Palestinian prisoners. The first phase, spanning 42 days, promises the release of 33 hostages. This group includes civilians, female soldiers, children, the elderly, and individuals suffering from severe illnesses. Their freedom hinges on the successful exchange of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners currently held by Israel. This initial phase is crucial. It serves as a litmus test for the viability of the entire agreement. A fragile truce in a land scarred by decades of violence and mistrust. The hostage ceasefire deal marks a pivotal moment in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It presents a rare opportunity to break the cycle of violence and pave the way for a more durable peace. However, the road ahead is fraught with challenges. The agreement's success hinges on the commitment of both sides to uphold their end of the bargain and the ability of international mediators to navigate the complex political landscape. The deal has been met with mixed reactions, reflecting the deeply entrenched divisions that continue to plague the region. While some celebrate it as a step towards peace, others view it with skepticism, questioning the long-term viability of any agreement with Hamas. The coming weeks and months will be critical in determining whether this fragile truce can withstand the weight of history and usher in a new era of peace and stability. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's decision to pursue the hostage ceasefire deal was a calculated gamble. He found himself walking a political tightrope, balancing the imperative to secure the release of Israeli captives with the potential to fracture his own governing coalition. The deal has exposed deep fissures within Israeli society and sparked a wave of protests from those who view it as a capitulation to terrorism. Netanyahu's political maneuvering highlights the complex web of domestic and international pressures he navigates. His close coordination with US President-elect Donald Trump, a staunch ally of Israel, proved instrumental in securing the deal. However, this alliance has also drawn criticism from those who accuse Netanyahu of prioritizing his personal relationship with Trump over the long-term interests of Israel. The far-right factions within Netanyahu's coalition, led by the firebrand ministers Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich, have emerged as the most vocal opponents of the deal. They argue that it rewards Hamas for its acts of terror and sets a dangerous precedent for future negotiations. Ben-Gvir and Smotrich have threatened to resign from the government if the deal is implemented without a guaranteed return to military action after the initial 42-day ceasefire. Netanyahu's gamble has plunged his government into a state of crisis. The threat of a coalition collapse looms large, potentially triggering new elections and further destabilizing the Israeli political landscape. His decision to prioritize the release of hostages, while understandable on humanitarian grounds, has come at a steep political cost, exposing the fragility of his hold on power and the deep divisions within Israeli society. The Israel-Hamas hostage ceasefire deal represents a rare instance of successful international mediation in a region often characterized by intractable conflicts. The involvement of both outgoing US President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump adds a unique dynamic to the negotiations, highlighting the delicate transition of power and the enduring influence of the United States in the Middle East. Trump, true to his penchant for self-promotion, has wasted no time in claiming credit for the deal. He has portrayed himself as the driving force behind the agreement, downplaying the role of the Biden administration and emphasizing his close relationship with Netanyahu. Trump's assertive approach and his willingness to engage directly with Hamas, a group designated as a terrorist organization by the United States and many other countries, have been met with a mixture of admiration and apprehension. The Biden administration, while acknowledging Trump's involvement, has been quick to emphasize its own contributions to the deal. Biden officials point to the administration's sustained pressure on Iran, a key backer of Hamas, as a crucial factor in creating the conditions for a ceasefire. They also highlight the close coordination between Biden's team and Trump's transition team, emphasizing the continuity of American foreign policy despite the change in leadership. The involvement of both Trump and Biden in the negotiations underscores the complexities of international diplomacy and the delicate balancing act required to navigate the interests of multiple stakeholders. The deal represents a rare instance of bipartisan cooperation on foreign policy, even as the two presidents and their respective teams jockey for position and seek to claim credit for the outcome. While the Israel-Hamas hostage ceasefire deal offers a glimmer of hope, the path toward its implementation is fraught with challenges. The agreement's fragile nature is evident in the ongoing violence that continues to plague the region, even as negotiations continue. Hamas has accused Israel of reneging on certain aspects of the deal, further complicating the situation and raising concerns about the long-term viability of the agreement. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza, exacerbated by years of conflict and economic blockade, presents a formidable challenge. The World Health Organization estimates that $10 billion will be needed over the next 5 to 7 years to rebuild Gaza's shattered health system. The international community faces the daunting task of providing immediate aid to the beleaguered population, while also addressing the underlying causes of the conflict that have fueled decades of suffering. The Israeli cabinet's vote on the deal, initially scheduled for January 18, 2025, has been delayed, highlighting the internal divisions within the Israeli government and the political risks associated with the agreement. The families of the hostages, caught between hope and despair, face an agonizing wait as they await the release of their loved ones. The mixed reactions from these families underscore the emotional toll of the conflict and the complex challenges of achieving lasting peace. The Israel-Hamas hostage ceasefire deal represents a pivotal moment in the long and bloody conflict. The agreement's success hinges on the commitment of both sides to uphold their end of the bargain, the unwavering support of the international community, and the ability of all parties to address the underlying causes of the conflict. The road ahead is long and arduous, but the deal offers a glimmer of hope that a more peaceful future for Israelis and Palestinians alike may yet be possible.